Hello, and welcome YouTube to Top 10 Most Criminally Misunderstood Animals, including your wolf girl over here that everyone thinks is a fox. Nya. Don't let the tails fool you.
Their caretakers and can recognize their caretakers and show affection. Will bond with certain individuals and follow them around. Will often bring someone an object and play tug-of-war. Gentle, inquisitive, and very intelligent. You'd think all this was from someone describing their dog. Actually, these quotes are all from people talking about vultures. The Jurassic...
The heck? They're talking about vultures? I mean, to be fair, vultures are really misunderstood. They like carrion eaters. And I chose a good place to pause because, like, look at that mouth. But yeah, vultures are really cute.
Size graveyard griefing alopecia pigeon actually has the personality of an imprinted puppy. You might not know that because most times people see one, it's either thousands of feet above the earth looking for death or on the ground feeding off it. Truth.
They're looking for death or feeding off it. That's a nice way of saying that, honestly. Oh my god. Why am I picking the best places to take a pause? Look at that face. It looks so silly though.
The vulture just might be the most generationally misunderstood bird, and in the spirit of Earth Day, I'm going to be talking about the top 10 most maligned and honestly reputationally screwed over animals. In my biased opinion. You can't please everyone, but I like my list, so let's get into it.
I like that disclaimer. It's like, you can't please everyone. Oh, alright. Tell me what you think. What you think is a really misunderstood animal. Let's see if it's in the video.
Starting off, it's not hard to see how vultures got done dirty. It's pretty hard to earn public favor when you dive bowels deep in a bloated buffalo for a living. Then you add the fact that they'll leak liquid nasty all over their legs to stay cool, projectile vomit.
I did not know they pee on their legs to stay cool. The more you learn. But honestly, like, I've never seen a vulture as like a creature that's misunderstood. They have their role on Earth. They do good work, right? It's like, I don't know. I've never looked at them and went, they're horrible.
In self-defense, and in a world of pretty privilege, vultures have a homely handicap. But anyone who's worked with them will swear by how smart they are. They're arguably the smartest birds that aren't corvids or parrots, and they're part of the exclusive group of animals able to make and use tools, with Egyptian vultures using a rock to have an ostracized omelet. And yeah, get on their good side.
An ostracized omelet! Oh man, that's so badass! That is so bad.
Like having a lap dog with wings. Apollo was a turkey vulture who apparently caught feelings for her caretaker Dave. They're also smart enough for a vulture vendetta to be a real thing. But what makes them underrated is just how much worse our quality of life would be without them. Botulinum toxins is the deadliest natural substance known to man, and vultures eat it like candy. Vultures can also tank tuberculosis, anthrax, and even the bubonic plague. Folks associate them with death and disease, but that's exactly what they help prevent. And if you don't know what happens when you avoid vultures, look no further than India. With about a 99% loss, vultures in India suffered one of the worst bird blights in history, mostly thanks to a drug given to cattle that also caused kidney failure in the feathery coffins. And with less of nature's cleanup crew taking care of expired bodies, the number of feral dogs went up, and so did cases of rabies. And if you remember my Halloween video, a rise in rabies might be the biggest jihad to the human race.
I have not seen that video, but really, that's fascinating. The more you know. I did not know that India had a lot of like dog issues. Damn, very informative.
But that's not the only social work vultures
rabies are bad, yeah.
The turkey vulture's nose is so OP, they've actually been used to help find gas leaks, with engineers putting special chemicals in pipes. And with them being more corpse happy than a necro in a morgue, many places rely on vultures as alarms against poaching activity. Unfortunately, the poachers started to catch on and have been murking the snitch tweeties by the hundreds, even the ones that are endangered. Worst part is, they're pretty easy targets because it's hard.
Oh man, that makes me so sad. What the heck? Poor vultures. Like, I don't think they're misunderstood. I think they're just being, like, mistreated. Like, this is a misunderstanding. There's just people being greedy and making a profit and being assholes and not caring about, like, anything other than their own closest personal gain. Like in India, they died because people didn't care that birds were affected by whatever they gave to their cattle. Here, they're dying because poachers. What the heck? So sad. Yes, I'm crying for them. They deserve better.
Hard to hide when you're part-time in the sky, and there's no witness protection for a sewer stork. Pretty easy to victimize when you're vulnerable and easy to track, and these are vultures we're talking about. It's not like they have cloaks or camouflage or a VPN. And you know, that last one would actually help a lot, since something like NordVPN would help the Skycats go off the grid. Since NordVPN creates an encrypted tunnel for your data and protects your identity by hiding your IP address, which means, unlike
He
vultures,
just had to
you can disappear
introduce
to a
it
place
somehow.
no poacher can find you.
Very
Another
witty
difference
way.
is where you can find a flying carcass merchant anywhere that isn't Antarctica or, weirdly enough, Australia. NordVPN allows you to connect to one of thousands of servers across
Yeah,
countries
what a
all
slide
over the
into the
world,
ad. I
which
like
means if
it.
you want to enjoy some wild Australian entertainment without entertaining the Australian wild, the servers of Down Under are only a click away. And where Vulture's clearly invested in being a tank of a raptor, with reliable servers, you never have to feel like you sold your speed for security. And like how the V-Bird's liquid assault protects it from bacteria, NordVPN's threat protection shields you from ads.
I like how
trackers,
he's
and
comparing
malware,
vultures.
along with a dark web monitor to make sure your personals don't end up in the wrong
And
place.
to those
leave you
wondering why my
violating your
tracking
past
got
tense pay.
interrupted
So to get the
there, my
most
cat
accurate
went
streaming service,
in front of
you go
my
to nordvpn.com/casualgeo
in
for an
front of
exclusive
my
deal on a
phone.
2-year plan plus 4 months
Phone.
extra. With Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee, it's virtually risk-free. Nothing about being a vulture is risk-free. That's why the condor nearly got wiped off the census. But in a W
Oh
from
my
humanity,
God.
conservation efforts help bring the big bird back from the brink. Hopefully people start to come around to vultures. Anything that chill with
Aww.
capybara can't be that bad. Just too bad you can't say that about number 9. The Grim Reaper once released a gang of guppies into the Amazon and made it our problem. Or at least that's what you would think from how much the media gets on them.
What? I'm like, do people not learn about animals in school? I'm so confused. These are things that you just learn in school, man.
Probably heard that piranhas can undress a cow down to the bones in minutes, and that skinny dipping in a pool of piranhas is one way to get blacklisted from breathing. Truth is, these fish felons are mostly scavengers, and when you do see one with an expired body, they're usually not the cause, but a symptom. They don't go out of their way to homicide humans. Most attacks involve people either splashing around like prey or getting way too close to a feeding frenzy. But they're basically the bees of water. They don't want smoke, quite the opposite. For all that face, piranhas are naturally timid and scare easy. So much that you actually have to give them places to hide in an aquarium because of just how neurotic they are. Also, they're not strictly meat. They'll also eat fruits, they'll eat seeds, leaves. There's even a type that eats mostly river reeds. But that wouldn't really make a good movie, now would it? Now,
No, it wouldn't make a good movie. That is very true. People's perception definitely changed when it comes to movies. But it also, when it comes to them, right? It's not really a person's fault that they splash in a way that attract predators. So, like, for that, I'm like,
I'm not gonna sit here and act like they're not capable of mass destruction, but their PR team really did them filth. Jeremy Wade sat in a pool of allegedly trigger-happy piranhas and didn't even get touched. And the whole cow story came from a Theodore Roosevelt hunting expedition where he saw it happen. The catch is, the guides wanted to impress the president, because who wouldn't? So they actually netted off a section of the river and starved the fish in it for a week, only to feed them with a cow while Roosevelt was watching. And just like the cow, the piranha's reputation never recovered. Sometimes
some of the dry jokes he makes, I'm just like, I love it. Interesting though that that's how they got like a bit of their reputation there, because I know like we study them, right, like their behavior in school and everything. I never thought of them as like these murderous, never to recover type animals.
all it takes is one incident to royally screw over an animal. Something next on the list knows all too well.
Sharks.
Let's just get this out the way. There are some deaths where you never forget where you were the moment you found out. For me, that's Kobe Bryant, Chadwick Boseman, and of course, Khaki Animal Jesus, aka Steve Irwin. And many have had smoke for stingray kind ever since.
I don't know how to say that. I don't know how to say this, but like all the people he mentioned, I'm like, who? I truly do live under a rock, chat. But also, like, I don't know. I never attached to anyone in media. Am I weird for that? You don't know Steve Irwin? No? Am I supposed to? If I do know him, like, if there's an actor, I've seen a movie and then I moved on with my life. I don't actually know who played a role in some movie, and if it's a singer, I listen to the song and it's cool and that's it. I don't know who's in the band. I don't care. No, I'm just saying, like, in general, right? I'm not saying about Steve Irwin, but like, am I supposed to know? Am I supposed to know who someone is? I live under a rock tag. Couldn't care less. He's animal Jesus. I see. Good for him. Good for him, but like, we have strays and animals over here. Like, I don't know. We deal with our own little thing in our little corner of the world. Do you know who Obama is? Okay, I do know who Obama is. I don't live under that big of a rock. Oh my god. God damn it. I would say Steve Irwin is bigger than Obama. Well, clearly not. He didn't make it under my rock. Oh god. I stop trying to enlarge me. I fit under my rock even if I'm a giant, okay? Yes, I do know who Michael Jordan is. Is this gonna be my YouTube comment section as well, being like, hey, Paws, do you know X? Okay, let me put it this way. I did not have time to watch YouTube, okay? So, and I don't watch the news. And, yeah, I was busy playing 20,000 hours of Path of Exile. So 7 years of my life are literally just me playing a video game. And the rest of it was studying about the world. But like, yeah, Animal Planet, Discovery Channel, I didn't watch TV. Who the heck had time to watch TV? Guys, I don't consume media, okay? I don't consume media. I read books, I went out, I traveled, I explored and informed myself, and I created stuff. Did you even have a TV? Yeah, of course I had a TV. My grandmother would use it to watch telenovelas, and I would learn Spanish by simple association and existing there. I learned Spanish from listening to telenovelas, okay? Oh, people didn't have internet or PC when they watched Steve Irwin. I mean, I had I had Discovery Channel and stuff, so I might know of him. And I have all the National Geographic magazines and everything. Like, I don't know, man. I just don't really care who anyone is, okay? It's like, what's this obsession with knowing who someone is? It's like, I told you, if someone appears on TV and is part of like a show or a host for something, or like the news handler, right? You think I know who tells me about the news or who the weather lady is? I have no idea. It's like, they're people. That's it. As an animal lover, you seem as the biggest reason why I love animals. Aw, that's really nice. Kinda inspirational. The biggest reason why I love animals is because my parents got me 2 animals when I was 2 years old. And then I kinda picked up a bunch of strays off the street. No idea who that is, Rocket.
But before you go wage war on a water waffle, first we gotta talk about just what went down. For one, Steve Irwin got struck directly in the heart, causing massive bleeding. He also never traveled with anti-venom, because anti-venom was anti-Irwin. Wouldn't have mattered anyway, because it wasn't even the venom that did it. Again, it was the bleeding. Stingray venom isn't even all that fatal. And at the time, it was only the second reported stingray-related death in Australia since 1945. It took over an hour for him to get to emergency workers, but again, it probably wouldn't have made a difference. The point is, literally everything that could have possibly went wrong. Like piranhas, stingrays are what a New Yorker might call a scary-at that would rather run away than run a fade. I went to the Cayman Islands a couple of months ago and visited Stingray City, and as someone religiously terrified of the ocean, I can tell you, the crepe of the coast is in fact chill like that. Pro tip, if you're ever walking around stingrays, do the stingray shuffle. You're just gonna want to drag your feet. Basically, you don't want them to leave the floor in case RNG makes you turn.
He the stingray shuffle. What's the stingray shuffle? I never knew the fact that stingrays were viewed badly. Damn. You drag your feet through the sand, you don't lift your feet off the bottom. Interesting. You drag your feet because it's really easy to accidentally step on one. The more you learn. Why do you have to step on one? Can you just constantly swim?
Turn a rain to a welcome mat. Other than that, unless you're a crab or a fish, you really don't have much to worry about. Besides, let's not act like Steve Irwin, the same man that took a love bite from a cobra and said sorry to the snake, isn't.
Oh. That's like me. I got bitten by a dog once, and everyone was like, "Put the dog down." I'm like, "It's not the dog's fault. I was on their territory." It's like, chill.
Somewhere in the afterlife eternally apologizing to the stingray for spooking him. Stingrays have been misunderstood ever since, but we can drop the vendetta. If we know anything about Steve, that's exactly what he would have wanted.
Well, we concluded that I do not know anything about Steve, but that being said, I like the fact that he was that big that he made stingrays be misunderstood is telling. That's insane, man. This is crazy. The death of one person completely affecting how people view an animal. Damn. It does make me wonder though, like, from the people that don't consume media, how many even know about stingrays being misunderstood? It's kind of like, that perspective thing, right? When you know something, you think everyone knows it. Or like, when you think someone's big enough, you're like, oh my god, everyone in the world knows about them, right? And then you realize that the world is huge and most people don't actually know.
Yeah, I'm really gonna have to explain putting dolphins here. Okay, well I feel like this weird thing happened where we went from Free Willy to finding out dolphins take that title seriously. So much that we ended up.
Wait, what? I need a second to process that. What? Huh? What? Oh my god, man.
Overcorrecting, and I personally and publicly talked endless amounts of shit.
Well, you should fear dolphins, not sharks. Oh my. Dolphins are very horny.
Don't get me wrong, the facts I said, I'll say again, I'll say it with my chest. But me calling them water Weinsteins or homicidal hot dogs or a blowhole bandit, nah, that's actually still crazy. But that's just me anthropomorphizing. I don't actually think they're evil. It's fun to treat them like humans, but they're still just wild animals doing what comes naturally. It's just that what comes naturally often involves them naturally. Actually, I should never mind. Look, with intelligent animals, there's always going to be duality, and I don't even need to say it. I just have to show you these two articles. But
I need to show you these two articles. Elephant walks 12 hours every day to pay respect to human friend. Oh my god. Elephant kills woman, returns to her funeral to attack her corpse. What are these article titles? Do I even want to know? Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
But dolphins can be wholesome too, like the same way parents will
holding
baby talk
grudges,
a toddler,
man.
mother dolphins actually do with their calves. They'll also sing to their baby before it's even born to teach them to recognize the sound of its mother's voice. We also found out that dolphins in a pod will often go out of their way to make less noise so to not confuse the calf in the oven. And when it's out, being a helicopter parent means mama dolphin won't sleep for up to a month straight. There's also decent evidence that dolphins get excited around pregnant women because they can detect the fetus and understand the implication of new life. And of course, there are stories of dolphins saving people from drowning and sharks. Hey man, I'm not going soft. I'm still gonna get my jokes off whenever I can. I just feel like because they're so smart, people make the mistake of holding them to human standards, which is pretty unfair considering a lot of humans don't even reach those. Dolphins
Nice. Also true.
aren't Disney characters or the spawn of Satan. They're just them. And as the final boss of dolphins, you can go ahead and put orcas in that too.
Damn. I guess misunderstood by being held as too intelligent, huh?
The greatest trick squirrels ever pulled was convincing the world they're just whimsical,
Squirrels?
nut-loving creatures, when they're actually rodent psychopaths profiting off.
No, don't do my squirrels dirty like that. Don't call them psychopaths. I like my squirrels.
Privilege. They'll eat things like baby birds, baby bunnies.
What the fudge? They eat alive babies? Maybe I do not want to know about squirrels. I like my vision of squirrels being innocent and cute. What the heck, man?
And even snakes.
What the? Bruh! What is this? What is that?
Red squirrels are also part-time cannibals, with males that'll seek and destroy any pups, only to get with the mother of the kids they just murked. Let's not.
I don't want to know anymore.
Forget that time a group of squirrels dismembered a dog for barking too loud. Also, the number of squirrels with manslaughter charges is higher than you think. It's estimated that chew-happy bushtails cause up to 30,000 fires a year, not only costing millions in damage, but likely barbecuing human collateral in the process. There was even a time a squirrel damaged the electrical system of a complex with NASDAQ, freezing computers and crippling the market for over an hour.
Okay, that was funny. Oh my god. Okay, so if we want to take over the world, Pinky, we need squirrels. Got it.
That wouldn't be the last time. In fact, one did the exact same thing 7 years later. Now, I know I'm doing the squirrels what I just admitted I've done to dolphins, but in my defense, I have a bias. I once got jumped by a pack of squirrels in Manhattan, and that was one half of a sandwich I never got back. Moral of the story, there's a reason the smartest man in the universe immediately took a knee in the face of the acorn mafia.
Okay. I even after finding all of that out, I am going to pretend I did not and keep seeing squirrels as adorable and cute and keep taking pictures of them. They're too cute. They are too cute! You can't convince me otherwise. I will keep my bias.
And here you have another case of animal gaslight. Pigs only get the reputation of being dirty because we keep them in filth. In reality, pigs are pretty clean and
who the heck thinks pigs are dirty? Dude, people eat pork every single day. If you think pigs are dirty, like, why are you eating pork? Like, huh? Really? I mean, pigs eat anything, mind you. They literally eat anything. But they're very clean animals, and, like, you can have pigs as house pets. A lot of people think pigs are dirty? Really? Damn. What did they teach you in school? I don't know. I've had grandparents that worked on a farm. Like, as in, like, they had animals, and I learned about them.
when they have a choice, they'll refuse to poop anywhere near where they eat. Pigs are arguably smarter than cats and dogs, and most experts say they're more trainable too. They somewhat passed the mirror test, and some were even taught to play video games. In '98, Lulu the potbelly saved her owner from a near-fatal heart attack by rushing out into the road and playing dead until she could get someone's attention and lead them back home. I also feel like we forget how well pigs did without us, and from the Red River hog of the Congo, to the pygmy hog of India, to the bearded Borneo pig, the swine's smart enough and adaptable enough to live virtually anywhere. On a dolphin-type beat, mother pigs will often sing to their piglets while nursing, and speaking of piglets, they can recognize their name at only 2 weeks old. You can argue pigs are everything we value in an animal. They're intelligent, they're affectionate, they're super trainable. Because they were bred for
delicious.
food, they got big screwed. Look, I'm not gonna virtue signal. You could give me 101 facts on cows, I'll probably still be out here door dashing McDonald's. But it's pretty criminal what we did to the pig's PR. Put it this way, this guy would have been by far the smartest character in the barnyard. They deserve way better than what they've gotten. And I'm not saying you have to give up bacon. All I'm gonna say is, according to cannibals, the closest tasting thing to human meat is pork. I'm gonna let y'all meditate on that.
I'm not sure I wanted to know that. Damn. I honestly did not think pigs were misunderstood. That's fascinating. It's one of those where, like, I thought, like, it was just common knowledge that they're clean animals. And vacuum cleaners. Like, they literally, like, they eat any scrap you throw at them.
Rats are number 4, and almost entirely because they got blamed for the bubonic plague when the main carrier of the lice and fleas that caused it was likely humans
Rats are
themselves. My
misunderstood,
theory is rats are
honestly.
found in cities, and cities are usually dirty, so we often see all rats as dirty. In reality, rats are constantly cleaning themselves. In fact, one of the ways they bond is by grooming each other. It's called allogrooming. Speaking of bonds, rats can often form emotional ones with humans, and anyone who's had a rat will tell you, at some point they'll try to groom you like you're a giant rat. Rats
I've seen, like, I know people that have pet rats. I've never had a pet rat, but they're very cute. They're very cute animals. I have cats, so like I don't think I could have a rat.
can also provide a public service, with many African poached rats actually being trained to sniff out tuberculosis. The same species has been used to sniff out hidden landmines, and not only can they cover the ground in 20 minutes that would take a trained human days, they can obviously walk across the mines without going back to ground zero. Magawa, the explosive tech rat, earned a gold medal after sussing out 100 mines in Cambodia and clearing 225,000 square feet of land.
What the
He's not the
heck?
only heroic rodent.
That's so
There are several stories of
cool.
rats saving owners from house fires where they easily could have hightailed it. You know, if it wasn't for the bad PR, rats just might be the top pet. Only bad side with them is they have short lifespans. and
Yeah,
their
that is
feelings will
really
get hurt.
criminal. Your feelings will literally get hurt. I think their lifespan is like 6 years. It is rough. It's another reason why I don't think I could have rats. It's like I get really attached to my animals. I already die inside thinking about like any of my animals kicking the bucket. Yeah, if that. Like 6 years is generous.
You know,
Like a lot of them have a lot of troubles, and you will have vet bills and everything. So 6 is being generous.
the fact that this is the only animal that needed a trigger warning is enough to put spiders at third.
Oh yeah. Be careful, people with arachnophobia. Come back in a few minutes, I guess.
Now, I'm not going to downplay arachnophobia like I didn't used to backpedal to pigeons, but spiders are a great example of bark being way worse than their bite. Take the tarantula, they're like the granddaddy of arachnid anxiety, but not only is their venom about as bad as a bee sting, not only are they so fragile they can literally explode if they fall a couple feet. Unlike bees, there's no record of tarantula venom terminating a person. Of course, there's thousands of types of tarantulas, and some are more of a jihad than others. But then you
It's
have the
good
ones
to
that
have a
adopt
spider
frogs
in
as
your
nannies,
house
with the frog
for
eating all the insects that could greet
keeping
the spider's
away
eggs, and the
things.
frog getting an 8-legged bodyguard. Truth is,
I used to
there's
call
about
them
50,000
Bobby
species of spiders seasoning the earth, and less than a tenth
whenever
of a
I'd
percent
have
of them
one.
are a legitimate threat to your life. And that doesn't include the smallest spider in the world, the patu de bois, or jumping
Ooh,
spiders,
it's
which
so
are literally
cute.
small enough to wear water as a hat. And when you
So
add the fact that they basically have paws to help them walk vertical, and that some like the wolf
Wait, they have me to help them walk? Okay, bad joke aside.
spider can
Moving
purr,
on.
are spiders not just the cats of insects? Oh my bad, arachnids. According to the CDC,
Definitely
the
not
number
the
of people
cats
morphed by
of
spiders a
insects.
year is 7. You're more likely to get
I
slapped
feel
by
like
a vindictive vending
grasshoppers.
machine. Okay,
Take
you're
that
not impressed.
side.
How about this? Spiders eat up to 800 million tons of insects that could otherwise destroy crops. If Thanos had beef with spiders, not only would there be way less food, it would be stupid expensive. You can thank spiders for a 4 for 4 not setting you back 400. Not to mention
I
all
did
the
not know
pesticides we
that.
need to stay alive when ironically turned the Earth into a disaster movie. Look, I'm not saying you got a cape for spiders. I know I'm biased. In fact, bias is probably why the next animal's number 2.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to spiders, I feel like for sure a lot of people think that they're very dangerous. Like arachnophobia is valid in the sense of like why you're biased towards them, right? That's okay, but a lot of people that aren't phobic, right? They still think spiders are like this thing that you're gonna die or that like they're really dangerous, which is weird. I wonder how they got their reputation like that. Maybe cartoons, old spinning weave tales.
I love Lion King, but they'll forever catch smoke for convincing an entire generation that hyenas are, well, that. Hyenas got profiled as scavengers when up to 95% of
Hyenas? Really? Oh my god, chat, my mind is blown by this video. Like, I loved Lion King, right? I don't think hyenas are these evil creatures. They are, don't get me wrong, they can be really bad. but like, I don't think The Lion King did anything to change my
what they
mind.
eat is something they can get credit for killing. Gaslight goes crazy because the literal Lion King poaches more food from hyenas than hyenas hoe lions. And since a laugh-happy vice trap eats every part of an animal, like land vultures, the world would be a much nastier place without the meerkat on a bulk. Everyone wants to shit on the garbage man until he quits and leaves you with the shit. But honestly, it's the stupid part that gets me heated. In experiments, spotted hyenas actually perform better in cooperative problem-solving tests than chimpanzees. You know, the chainsaw with thumbs we share 98% of our DNA with. Hyenas are way smarter than they get credit for. Take Waffles, for example. Waffles was a lady hyena
So
in a
cute.
clan, and at the very bottom of it, no less. And in just a year, she went from the dirt under the ladder to the alpha at the very top, and she didn't even have to fight for it. All she needed was the power of friendship.
Yeah, like, the reason why I say Lion King didn't influence hyenas for me in any way is because, like, I don't remember the hyenas from Lion King. Like, it didn't leave a mark on me. I guess the part where, like, they were considered dumb was kind of like what most people remembered about them as animals, which is interesting because trying to say any animal is dumb is kind of like weird because you never know, man. You never know if they're an exception. I'd still be wary. And then when it comes to hyenas, Jesus Christ, they're very good at like stealing shit from you. Like really good at their job of like stealing stuff and yoinking things. So many people have bad experiences with hyenas as well. I have met some really stupid dogs and cats. It reminds me of the reputation of orange cats. Have like they're considered the dumbest zero brain cells cats, right? And mine, the orange cat, was probably the smartest cat out of all the bunch.
No, I'm serious. Waffles
Yeah,
slowly
the
made the right
orange
friends,
brains,
built
though.
alliances with other low ranks, earned favor with some of the higher ups, and before the ones at the top could even realize it, the hyena named Waffles had caused what scientists would later refer to as the syrup rising. And you'd think she'd go power hungry once she got the throne, but nah, the opposite. She never switched up on the ones that got her there, and there were even times where she helped feed the cubs of low status moms. Cause hyena hierarchy is more about social networking and climbing the corporate ladder than just running fades all day. See, you wouldn't know that from just watching Lion King, and while some are starting to come around to this giant maligned mongoose, one movie ruined the last animal's rep damn near permanently.
Let me guess. Jaws is probably sharks.
There was no way sharks weren't getting the #1 spot, and really,
Yep.
any way you look at it, we
Yep.
did this overgrown grief guppy grimy. How about the fact that the shark's KD ratio is about 10 a year to the 100 million that get murked by people? What about the fact that a coconut to the dome
that
or a
was so
bathtub
sad
accident
learning
is
about
way
that
more likely to
experience.
flatline you than a shark? There's the fact that we have over 500 species of them, but really only about 4 are seen as legitimately dangerous, so I don't blame you for folding the great whites, tiger sharks, bull sharks, and the underrated oceanic white tip. But this is a shark, and it's unproblematic to anything that isn't plankton. Same thing with the basking, aka Kirby shark, which is really just a giant pacifish. Then you got
I feel like Jaws did a disservice in general to people being afraid of the ocean and swimming in the ocean. I don't know why. Like I feel like a lot of people just developed a fear of the ocean. Like I hear it so often of people being afraid of things touching their legs or like losing their legs or you don't know what the heck is like in the ocean waiting for you. And I get it, right? I get that you can be afraid of the unknown and you can be afraid of the depths and you can be afraid of like the things that exist in the ocean. But like even swimming at the shores, right? In the ocean, just touching the ocean and like dipping your toes 2 meters in, right? I feel like a lot of people developed a bigger fear due to Jaws. Jellyfish is more likely to body you than a shark. My dad had a jellyfish clamp on his leg. That's how I learned about pee and its useful properties.
white tip reef sharks that are not only non-aggressive,
Oh.
they cuddle each other to sleep. And you can't forget the lemon shark being the golden retriever of the sea that'll often form bonds with divers. Blondie was an 8-foot lemon shark that would go up to divers, but the only thing she'd be hunting for is attention and affection. And while yeah, I'm not exactly a huge fan of this, at the end of the day, I wouldn't want a shark in my living room. You can't be mad when you go into theirs. Because if there's one thing you should take from this video, calling it shark-infested waters is really wild disrespectful. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Make sure you drink water, hug your mother, and maybe give guppies a break. I promise you loan sharks end way more lives. Shout out to NordVPN for sponsoring this video, and I'ma see
Give
y'all in
guppies
the
a
next
break.
one.
Nice. Oh man, this was a really cool video. I learned a lot about misconceptions, about the fact that I really do live under a rock and stuff. Yeah.
Cuidado, eh.
What can I say? This was a cool video. I feel like to anyone on YouTube that managed to kind of get to the end of this video, well, thanks for putting up
Ahí
with
va, ahí
me.
va.
Ooh.
Sí.
Yo.
Hala, venga. A volar. ¿Eh?
It's like, come on, go. Shoot. The boys just hanging out there going like, you know what? That's a nice view. I like it. Oh, yeah.